Hey guys, it's Madison and Sophie again. So today we are going to talk about hormones, or better yet, how to start hormones if that's something that you're interested in. Also, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you go ahead and press that like button down below and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. New videos are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you don't want to miss any of them. So, hormones. I get a lot of questions asking me how to go about getting started on hormones, or HRT. And so that's what we're going to talk about. And basically the way that I did it is once I had decided that transitioning is what I needed to go ahead and do, which granted I put a lot of thought into, like 20 years worth.
Here's a squeaky toy. Here's a squeaky toy.
So anyways, once I decided that transitioning was the right step for me to take, I started seeing a therapist. And I saw a therapist probably for about a month before I actually scheduled a doctor's appointment to see about getting hormones. And basically, I had a really hard time where I live finding a doctor who has experience in HRT and cross-sex hormones, because I happen to live in a very conservative part of Texas, and there just isn't a lot of doctors with that kind of experience. So I spent a long time researching online. I finally found a doctor that I thought would be able to help me. And I went to her, and I had heard all sorts of horror stories online where doctors would make you wait months and months before letting you, get on HRT and start. So I was a little nervous. I didn't really know what to expect. But basically, it was really, really easy for me. I went, and during my first appointment, she kind of went over the risks and, the benefits, what I could expect to happen, all those sorts of things. I did have my blood drawn so that we could do a base test for the next appointment. And yeah, she pretty much, it was kind of like an informed consent thing to where, I consented that I knew the risks and I knew what I was doing and I knew, the effects that hormones were going to have on me. Speaking of which, if you are curious about that, I'll link to another video up above so you guys can check that out. But yeah, so once I had agreed and everything was good to go, she went ahead and prescribed me hormones the same day as my doctor visit. And so I actually take 3 different prescriptions, and I'm going to kind of go over those with you guys. So when I first started, I was on estrogen. And let me take one of these out so you guys can kind of see it. These are really small. And I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this or if the focus is working. But these are my estrogen pills. They are 1 milligram each. And when I first started hormones, she started me on 2 milligrams a day. So I took one of these in the morning and one at night. And when I went back, I had an appointment 2 months later for a follow-up to make sure everything was okay. And when I went back for that, she increased my dose. So now I'm actually taking 3 milligrams of estrogen. I do one in the morning, one at night, and then usually one around lunchtime. I have to take them with food or else I risk getting kind of sick. So that's why I kind of choose to go for those points in time. I also take a testosterone blocker. It is called Spironolactone. And these are 100 milligrams. And they kind of look like this. Funny thing about spironolactone that you may not know is that the coating they put around the pill is like mint flavored. So these things taste just like breath mints when you take them. And also, like, they kind of smell like mints too. Like, it smells kind of like a mint that you left in your pocket too long. Just in case you're curious. But anyway, so these are 100 milligrams. I take one of these a day, and I usually take mine in the mornings. And that is the testosterone blocker that, keeps my body from producing testosterone so that the estrogen I take will have a chance to, work. Because generally testosterone tends to be a more powerful hormone than estrogen, and it will usually override estrogen in almost all cases. And that's why, trans guys, people switching from female to male, they normally don't have to take like an estrogen blocker or anything because the testosterone that they inject will overpower the estrogen in their system. And then last but not least, my favorite pills, I say that sarcastically, is progesterone. And these little puppies, these guys are tiny, tiny. They are 10 milligrams. I don't know if you can see that. These are the pills that made me so stinking sick back when I first started hormones. But I take one of these a day, and I have since I started back in October, and I usually take this one at night with dinner, and I've had pretty good results. I know some doctors will prescribe progesterone and others won't. Mine just happens to prescribe it. Supposedly it helps with a lot of the feminizing effects that the estrogen has, specifically on your breasts, that it helps them kind of round out a little bit better and gives them more of a feminine shape rather than so much of like a conical shape that you can achieve if you're just taking estrogen. But that's kind of my hormone regimen and how I was able to get started. And quick disclaimer, you should never self-medicate. If you are going to go on HRT or hormone therapy, you should always see a doctor. These are very dangerous drugs and they can cause you a lot of problems, complications, and side effects. So in no way am I recommending that you do this without the supervision of a doctor first. So just throwing that out there in case you think it would be a good idea to, copy my medication doses. My doses are specified to my body chemistry, and I have a lot of blood tests very often so that we can check on that and make sure everything is fine. Taking too much of them or overdosing on one can really lead to some serious side effects like heart attacks and blood clots and all sorts of really bad things. So it's just not worth the risk. If you are serious about transitioning and that is something that you need to do, please just see a doctor. Now, some doctors will require you to have a letter from a therapist with a recommendation saying that they believe this is the correct step for you, is to undergo hormone therapy in pursuit of a transition. But some doctors, and more progressive ones generally, especially those who have a lot of experience with this and have been doing it for a long time, they will just operate on the informed consent model, to where basically you have to sign a waiver saying that you understand the risks and side effects and the changes that will occur, and then once that's all good to go, they will give you the hormones. They may have like a waiting period of a week. Some will probably make you do a blood test first. I did all mine in the same day. I had a doctor appointment, a blood test, and I got my prescriptions all in the same day. So it really is just going to vary by the doctor and kind of the town that you live in and the options that you have available to you there. I am actually slated to go back for another doctor appointment at the end of June, so right about a month away, and I'm really excited to see if she is going to up my dosages or if anything's going to change. I kind of expect her to up my estrogen dose, but I could be totally wrong. It's just kind of a wait and see thing. I really don't know what she has in store. But in my area and in my town, she is like the foremost expert on this. She has helped a lot of people transition genders, whether it be from male to female or female to male. So I do trust her completely, and yeah, I'm just kind of excited to see what happens when I go back in June. It will be for my 8-month follow-up from the time I started HRT. But so anyway, that's just kind of a little bit of insight on my hormones and how you should go about getting started if that's something that you are wanting to pursue. So that's all I have for you today, guys. It's a short video, so like I said, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel and click the like button down below. I am working on setting up some live feed events for you guys, so I will let you know the dates and times that those are going to occur, but they'll probably be on Saturdays, probably within the next week or two. But like I said, I'll let you know for sure. And yeah, until next time, be kind and make good choices.